Welcome back here to Last Call. Nathaniel Finch, Jake Kiefer. Let's get into the NFL slate. We're going to hit every single NFL game. Start with the Colts. Colts, Sunday Night Football, their second straight game under the lights. Played the Cowboys, played 3 great quarters of football. I mean, you allow 33 points in the fourth quarter, it's not going to win you a game. So they end up losing that game 54-19. But, hey, early in the fourth, it was 21-19. It was a good, hard-fought battle. CeeDee Lamb is a dog.
It was a solid 3.5 quarters of football from the Colts. But that's been their issue all year. They can't put together 4 quarters of a football game without making mistakes. And that's been their Achilles heel, you know. And the Cowboys' defense is electric. They do a good job of stopping the run.
I mean, 5 turnovers. They get 5 turnovers of the Colts. Credit a lot of that to the defense, but also Matt Ryan. Maybe this should be his last year in the NFL. We'll see. We'll still have him under contract for another year or two after that. But this is an interesting game because Dallas, you put up 54 points, but you're under 400 offensive yards, a few defensive touchdowns, a lot of drives that would start at the opposing 30, 20, even inside the red zone already. It was one of those just weird games where the Colts couldn't do a whole lot. But, I mean, again, look at this. 3:55 to go in the game. They're only down 2. Alec Pierce had that touchdown. They thought about going for 2. They couldn't do it. It's so weird. And then the floodgates opened up, so they just couldn't play the full game. But, man, it's just a weird game.
Well, and you think at this point there's got to be some talk about maybe trying Nick Foles at quarterback.
Oh, they thought about starting Nick Foles in the middle of that game. They were talking about it towards the end. They're saying, hey, Matt Ryan's not getting it done. Sam Ehlinger's not starting. He was a healthy scratch, so the backup was Foles. They thought about putting him in. It was one of those games. And for Matt Ryan, it's so hard to watch because the only throw he makes is the 5 yards down the seam to your tight end. That's it. Or maybe a little screen, but again, to a tight end or running back. He does not throw the ball, not just downfield, but past the chains. He's not getting it to his outside receivers. Michael Pittman, could have just set up and taken a nap out there because he wasn't throwing too hardly at all. And the throw he did have that he was wide open for, terrible throw that went behind his back, almost intercepted. It was hard to watch Matt Ryan play quarterback.
Yeah, and you think about it. Both of those quarterbacks have been to a Super Bowl, but who's the one quarterback that's actually won one? Nick Foles. And that's why I think it's Nick Foles' time.
Let's take a look at the rest of the NFL. Let's start with the Packers. They're now the winningest franchise in NFL history. It's kind of been them and the Bears back and forth a little bit, but it's their 206th meeting against Chicago. Aaron Rodgers, we know he owns the city. 25-5 is he, but it started all Chicago. I mean, look here. They're going to score here, and it's suddenly going to be 17-3, or 16-3 it is. Chicago was looking good, and then Rodgers said, all right, let's turn things on. Christian Watson, he's a dog. A lot of these rookie receivers, man, they're looking good.
Yeah, no, Christian Watson's having a year, and he kind of came to fruition late, There you see him right there rushing for a touchdown. Like, he was not a factor for the first half of the season, and he's really come on strong in the second half.
No, but the last few games, man, he's had 8 touchdowns in 4 games. That's wild. Switch gears, though. That final score, Packers won 28-19. Then we go to Falcons here. Steelers beat them 19-16. Look at this. Connor Hayward, 10 years younger than his older brother. Cam Hayward, the Steelers great. Pretty cool seeing him get that reception touchdown. But then on the other end, just not a lot on the other end. You see Mika Fitzpatrick seal the game. So that final score, 19-16. Not a lot of offense on either side. Kudos to that Steelers defense.
Yeah. How about these Vikings? These Vikings just keep rolling.
9-0 in one-score games. 27-22 is the score.
Yeah. But how about Garrett Wilson for the Jets? He has been fun to watch the entire game. And how about Justin Jefferson? He's had a year.
Yeah.
He's crazy good, man.
Top 3 receiver in the league. For Garrett Wilson, though, another rookie where he's, looking very good. 8 catches, 162 yards. Didn't get in the end zone this week, but he looked good. Mike White throwing him some good throws.
57 passes for Mike White. 57 pass attempts. That's crazy.
Pretty wild. Then we go to Detroit, the Lions. Man, they're looking pretty good, especially at home. How about this? Came in, the Lions was basically a push. So either way, it was a coin flip game. But, man, Jared Goff had something else to say. Look at this. 40-14 was this score. It was an impressive one.
Man, DeAndre Swift getting in there for the touchdown. Look at that. Look at those moves, man. Quick on his feet, capable of reaching out and just going and grabbing that touchdown out the air, man. Now we're moving on. Tennessee Titans, Philadelphia Eagles, A.J. Brown returning to beat his former team. Man, what do you say about that one, Nathaniel? 35-10 the final score there. Revenge game for A.J. Brown, though. 8 for 119, 2 touchdowns.
What you say is, hey, I placed a bet that morning saying Mr. A.J. Brown's going to have 2 touchdowns, and he sure did. Won me a nice little 50-piece, but we'll switch gears here after the Eagles won 35-10, kind of embarrassed the Titans. How about Browns beating the Texans? Deshaun Watson comes back. He gets his first game with the Browns. Doesn't look that good. It's going to be the defense and special teams. Peoples-Jones with a big punt return touchdown to get things started. The defense, including this one, had a couple touchdowns. Denzel Ward with this one. Wasn't a good day for the offense for the Browns, definitely for either team. But you look here, pick 6 as well. It was an impressive day for the Browns defense and special teams.
Yeah.
That final scored 27-14. Commanders, Giants. It was a tight game. Came in again, one of those coin flip games where the books had it, maybe a +1 spread. It was right there. But man, it came down to the end. In overtime, tied at 20. That's where the game will end. They're tied. But man, it was a hard-fought game for each team. These NFC East games, they're so much fun.
Every team in the NFC East is above 500, Nathaniel.
Yeah.
When's the last time that happened?
Not in the NFC East either. Last year, I think they were all below 500. It was crazy. And we see here Gano with the win. He's just short. That'll be a theme. You'll see that in a little bit as well in this game specifically. Here's the Broncos. You got Russell Wilson. He's going to bring a bunch of touchdowns from Seattle, right? No, Broncos didn't score a single touchdown all game. You see Lamar Jackson here. Got hurt. Look at this. You hate to see it.
That. Yeah.
Bit of a knee injury. He's week to week. He probably won't play this upcoming week, but he should be back in a week or two. So you like to see that. But he exited the game early in the first quarter. Had to bring in Tyler Huntley, and he also didn't produce many touchdowns. Still a field goal game. They kept going back and forth. The score was 9-3 going into the fourth quarter on that last drive. Tyler Huntley, he produced some magic. Won the game with a 2-yard rush.
He gets that ball out there, and he hits his receivers in stride. He might be a little bit better of a passer than Lamar is.
Look at this one. Who's not a better passer? That's your wide receiver, Josh Prochet. What are you getting him the ball for? Justin Simmons, the easiest interception you'll see all week. That's a terrible play.
Yeah, I don't know what the play call was there, but then again, me and Greg Roman have creative differences anyway.
But you see here, Tyler Huntley, this last drive, making some great plays, 28 seconds left in the score. Russell Wilson, though, no one timeout, trying to work with what he's got. Puts his body on the line, 2 seconds left, gets him at the logo. It's hard to make field goals from that paint.
Not if you're Justin Tucker.
It's a fair point. And he's at Justin Tucker's home, but they couldn't, so that final score, Ravens 10, Broncos 9. Dolphins, Niners. The Niners won 33-17, but it started off with Trent Sherfield, a former 49er, 75-yard touchdown. Look at this, though. Jimmy G left just like Lamar did early in the first with a foot injury. This one is ugly. It's a broken foot. He's out for the year. You hate to see that. Jimmy G was such a good story, but he will miss the remainder of the season. Bring in Brock Purdy. Hey, he's kind of serviceable. Get it to Kyle Juszczyk. He comes in, does good work.
Former Raven.
McCaffrey had a receiving touchdown. We see here Tyreek Hill ended up with a score as well. We'll go back and forth. It just sucks that Jimmy G's now out. So you bring in Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy. He's not going to win you a Super Bowl like Jimmy G could have.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. But what are you going to do?
Hey, the Niners win 5 straight. Finns have a 5-win streak snapped. Let's switch gears. Seahawks.
How about Geno
defeat the
Smith?
Rams. Man.
Geno Smith's been electric all season. MVP-type numbers almost, really.
Geno Smith, extremely underrated. Noah Fant, underrated. Tyler Lockett, underrated. DK Metcalf, underrated. The Seahawks, they're an underrated team here.
Well, everybody thought, in the absence of Russell Wilson, that Geno couldn't do it. But they forget when Geno was with the Jets, he had those starts, and the Jets actually won football games. Lo and behold, Seahawks win football games.
John Wolford started that game. Seahawks won 27-23 on a late drive from Smith. Raiders beat the Chargers 27-20. It was a early 10-0 lead for the Chargers, but Josh Jacobs, man, he's on a hot streak. You know what?
He's been on a hot streak the entire
Look at that catch.
season.
Devontae Adams is so good. Look at that. How does he do it? Best receiver in the league.
Absolutely. 8 for 177, 2 touchdowns. A little flea flicker action here.
These are so much fun. And to who? Guess what? Best receiver in the league. He gets that catch. High steps his way into the end zone. Big
How about
lead
Justin
here.
Herbert, though? He's looked good.
He plays his best when he's got the gun to his head, right? When it's 4th and 12 and you need it. He has a great 35-yard strike there. Here's another one that he put the ball right where it needed to be. Couldn't hold on to it, but they ended up losing that game. Now Chiefs Bengals, 27-24.
Man, the Bengals are the Chiefs' kryptonite, aren't they?
Joe Burrow, 3-0 against Mahomes.
How about Isaiah Pacheco, though? Stepping in for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's now the number one. Air Jordan is what my director just said. How about Air Mahomes? Air Mahomes, baby, getting up there, getting in there.
Yeah, pretty impressive job getting and crossing there. And Mahomes did his best to get them where they needed to be. How about this, though? This defense forcing that fumble of Kelsey. Nothing he could do there. And they get down and end up going down. Joe Burrow has a couple nice drives. They score here with Chris Evans. Not the actor, but the football player. They end up winning this game.
He's from Indiana. He's a Ben Davis High School grad, believe it or not.
Not bad, and he does good in the spotlight there as they defeat Mahomes and the Chiefs. So let's switch gears. Take a look at some Monday Night Football. This is going to be a weird game, and
Yes,
Tom
it is.
Brady against the Saints. They've always been kind of weird ones where Saints seem to have his number. Typically when Drew Brees was there, but even the last couple games, still, it's just been weird this matchup. So what do you think? How do you think this game's going to go?
I don't know. It's a strange one. Like you said, Brady's been struggling recently. The Saints have struggled. I don't know. I'm probably going to have to go Brady on this one. Whenever I bet against Tom Brady, I lose. Mainly whenever I bet in general, I lose. But when it comes to Tom Brady, probably don't want to bet against him, right? But
Yeah.
then again, you got Alvin Kamara, you got Chris Olave, Jamar Johnson, Taysom Hill, the
Hey,
five-tool of football.
Andy Dalton's looking good too. This isn't a slouch team.
Not at all. And then even if Dalton goes down, you got famous Jameis in the backup spot there. I don't know. I think it's more of a toss-up.
It is just such a weird. I would say a toss-up is a good way to put it. Bucks are favored by a field goal, but I just think it's one of those toss-up games. If you like the Saints money lines plus 154, it's not a bad idea because again, this is going to be just such a weird matchup. The Bucks should win. Tampa Bay Buccaneers should win this matchup. They're top of the division, they're the better team. Saints just have this weird thing where they just sneak a couple games away
They
from
play
Brady.
up to their competition. They play down to their competition,
especially
too.
with the Bucks, though. That's the thing. It's like it's just these guys. They just play different when they play each other.
Over-under set at 41.5 there. I don't think I'm touching that one. It could be a 25-24 game. It could be a 5-4 game. It's pretty unlikely, but three safeties actually, technically, in a field goal. But
I mean, it was 5-0 in that Texans game at one point. So
that was weird. What'd you say that was the
that was like the
Guardians-Astros score?
Guardians-Astros score 5-0, but no, it was Cleveland and
Strange.
Houston football.
I don't know. I think I'm going to have to go Bucks here if I'm just going straight up. But you're right. If you like the Saints at plus money, probably a safe bet too. Now, if I'm going for a parlay, I'm going to go Bucks -3. I'm going to go Alvin Kamara anytime touchdown and Mike Evans anytime touchdown. So odds come out to plus 898. That's bet 10 to win 89. Pretty good odds.
I don't mind those touchdowns. Again, stay away from that line. I'm not a big fan of betting either way with the Bucks or Saints here. So maybe you do go with Kamara anytime touchdown, Evans anytime touchdown. Wouldn't be as good odds, but that's still not a bad little bet that you can put together there.
It's possible. Here's another one, though. I mean, if you throw Taysom Hill onto that, the way they've used Taysom Hill this year, it's very possible that you could, bet 10 to win 100-something, somewhere around there, I would assume.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting seeing how Taysom Hill would be used because it's just been so sparse. Some games he's in for, 3 touchdowns. Another game you don't see him for 3 snaps. So it's risky, but I don't mind it.
We'll see. Now on the prop side of things, there's not too many props I want to touch today. Receivers are all hit or miss for both of these
Yeah.
teams. Chris Olave could have 100 yards. He could have 10 yards. Mike Evans could not see a single target. Chris Godwin could see all of them, or vice versa. Who knows? But the one prop that I'm in on, Andy Dalton over 31.5 passing attempts. I know that seems high. It seems like, how is that going to happen? But I have a feeling the Saints will be down early in this one, which will force Andy Dalton to really, put the ball out there and throw it.
Jake, if you got to pick, who do you think?
Bucks all day, baby. Can't bet against Tom Brady. Can't bet against football touchdown Jesus.
I agree there with you. We'll go Bucks for this game. Thanks for watching the show. The last show again that you're ever going to do, Jake.
Yeah, man, it's wild. I want to extend a thank you to you, man. We've had a great time hosting this show together.
Hey, it's been a
producing it.
blast.
It's been awesome. Thank you to everybody who's worked it. Thank you to Rick Dunkel. What do we got there? Oh, no. You guys are doing this? Oh. You're going to make me cry.
It has been a pleasure to do this show with you, Jake.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. Thank everybody at UND TV, You know, Graham Shear, look at that. That is a great picture. Wow. You know, thank you to Colin Chung, Grayson Holt, Sidney Smith, Logan Wong. You know, everybody I didn't mention. It's been quite a ride, man. It's been quite a ride. So, looking forward to seeing who would take my spot. I think that we should have like a American Idol type deal, or like America's Got Talent, to see who'll be hosting this next semester with you. But
We'll worry about that later. Just tell me first about what's next for you.
what's next, man? We'll see. Hopefully, I'll get a job in the TV industry somewhere. We're working on it, but as of right now, I think I'm just going to enjoy my time, enjoy my graduation, and then start focusing on jobs and stuff after that. Yeah.
The last show of the semester, we will continue Last Call with a different man in this seat next semester, so we'll start that up at the end of January. Last Call. Thanks for tuning in.